Unless you filed for an extension, tax season is over in this country. Many Americans breathing a sigh of relief that we don't have to deal with this stuff anymore. We paid our fees to whatever program we used to pay our taxes. We paid the IRS what we owed. If you got money back, you probably have that in your account by now. Everything's done except for the fact that Intuit, the company that makes TurboTax, apparently hid their free tax filing program from millions of Americans who used TurboTax. Joining me now to talk about this is Scott Hardy from Top Class Actions. Scott, this is one that kind of popped in the news briefly, during tax season, that TurboTax was hiding this free filing service from low-income users. And then it just disappeared. Everybody seemed to just move on from this, but this is a much bigger issue than the news media treated it as, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. That these class actions are really interesting that have been filed both by the state of California and by individuals in California. And if you think this just affects California, you're wrong. This is going to have far-reaching implications across the entire country for those low-income people. But we say low-income people. This isn't just low-income people. This is everybody, the bottom 70% of earners. So this is low to middle-income consumers that should be able to essentially file their taxes for free. And Intuit and H&R Block both talked to the IRS because the IRS looked at their filings and went, well, you're just basically filling out these forms for them. We could do that online and we'll just do it for free because you're not doing anything super special. And H&R Block and Intuit went, no, please don't do that. That will cost us millions of dollars a year. Instead, we're good corporations. We always look after the consumers first. We will do this free filing system for consumers. We look after consumers. They're our number one people here. You don't have to do it, IRS. You're a big government agency. Let's get government out of this. Come on. We'll do it because we're good corporations and we've never, ever screwed over consumers. Right? Not exactly. And so you had this free filing system that was created. But as you said, it's been buried by H&R Block and Intuit. So most people have no idea it exists.
And we're talking about, 70% of all taxpayers in the country would qualify or should be using, essentially, the free software. You don't need the accuracy check. You don't need the live representative on the phone with you. Most people, especially on the lower side of the income brackets here, they have their single W-2 and they transfer the money from that tiny piece of paper into the program and hit enter, and that's it. That's all they have to do. They don't have business expenses to write off. They may not have home offices to write off, mileage, things like that. They just go to work, clock in, clock out, come home. That's typical. That is what most Americans do. They're not trying to hide anything. They're not trying to scam anybody. They don't need these complex tax forms to fill out. It's easy, simple, and the IRS says, yeah, guess what? It's also free. Well, TurboTax said, well, you know what, though? If we essentially hide this feature, if we can get 500,000 extra people to do this, and instead of doing it for free, they pay us $100 average, well, hey, guess what? That's a couple $1,000,000 we put in our pocket without really having to do anything. And yeah, as we've seen for decades now, if a corporation thinks it can make a few $1,000,000 by technically not doing anything illegal, then they're going to do it. I mean, that's the bottom line. They're going to do it. But they also run the risk of getting popped when consumers find out that they were doing it maliciously, and that's what's happening here with the TurboTax.
Exactly. And, it gets so kind of dirty here that Intuit, according to ProPublica, actually, the Intuit went so far as to hide the free filing web page on its website from search engines. And so they actually had a flag on their web page that said to Google, do not index this. And that web page, so people said, hey, free filing through Intuit. Oh, no, that website's not gonna pop up. And then after they got caught and they got called out on it, then they went, ooh, you're right. Let's go ahead and make that indexable so people can find it and be able to file taxes for free through us. I mean, it's really nasty, and I understand that they want to increase their profit margin, but they did make that promise to the U.S. government, both H&R Block and Intuit, that they would do this for free for 70% of Americans, and less than 1% are doing it right now. So they really have to work their butts off and pay back that $100, $160, $200 that these low-income folks are paying. These people are living paycheck to paycheck, and that $200 or $100 makes a huge difference in their daily life. And so I'm glad that these class actions were filed by the state of California and by individuals in California to call them on this and to make sure that this has far-reaching implications, not just in California, but across the country, so that those folks, that 70% of Americans, can actually benefit from this.
And we're not talking about the people who paid, well, I'm sure some of them did, but the average person didn't just pay like, okay, well, here's $10 to file my taxes. One of the plaintiffs earns less than $34,000 a year, paid $179 when in fact she should have been using the free program but did not know it existed. Another plaintiff, annual income of $22,000, paid $86 to file her taxes when it should have cost her nothing. I mean, this is absolute criminal behavior, almost. I mean, obviously it's not technically illegal. It is dishonest. It does break the trust that they had. But my best advice here, if anyone filed their taxes using these programs, whether or not you think you should have used the free one, please learn more about this story, learn more about what happened, go back, look at your own taxes, because you may qualify for this class without even realizing it at this point. So again, follow the link in the description of this video, head to Top Class Actions, get all of the information you need, because this one's going to be big, this one's going to continue to grow, and you do not want to miss out on it if you were a victim of it. Scott Hardy, Top Class Actions, thank you very much for talking with me.
You're welcome. Thanks for your time, Fred.